Every time I mention the word retirement with somebody, the conversation kind of gradually gravitates towards the financial side of retirement. I hear so often, how much do I need to retire? How much do I need to save? When can I start taking my pension? How much will I get? Do I have enough to retire? And it seems like before I retired, that was the analysis that went over in my head time and time again. It was all money, 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 money. And and then we think we're prepared. And then we finally get to retirement and we discover, oh my goodness, the financial side of retirement is just one of the things that we should have been prepared for. And really, the lifestyle or the emotional side of retirement is probably more difficult than the financial. What is retirement going to look like for me? And so in today's video, I talk about the 5 things that I wish I had known before I retired. I'm Maureen Dobransky. This is Life Starts at Retirement. I produce a retirement lifestyle video every Saturday at noon. Now, really, in no particular order, I'm going to just talk about them all because they're all almost all equally important. So let's start. Time flies. Oh my goodness, time flies. And it flies quickly. So while you have your health, while you can travel, while you can golf, while you can hike, while you can have that glass of wine, while you can enjoy whatever it is that you love to do, do it. Spend the money, go on the trips, have the fun, do something unique, enjoy your life while you can. Remember that the first few years of your retirement will most likely be your healthiest years. So put that good health to good work. Now, the experts say there's really sort of 3 stages of retirement: the go-go stage, the slow-go stage, and the no-go stage. So the go-go stage is where you're typically newly retired, you're the healthiest, you want to go, you want to travel, you want to do what you love, you've waited so long for this, you just want to do it. And this is typically where you'll spend the most money. And then the next stage, the slow go stage, where you just do start to slow down. Maybe you take 1 trip a year, you don't eat out as much as you used to, you've typically been retired for a bit, and it's sort of time to settle in. And then the last stage is the no-go stage. And this is typically where you're just no longer able to travel. You can't do what you used to be able to do, and you don't like to go like you used to. You're content to sit more at home and just reflect on your life. So sort of the 3 phases. And I do have a video about all 3 of those phases of retirement. I'll post it in the comment because the more you know about them and the more you learn about them, the more it is that you'll want to go while you can. So, and even if your go is gardening or walking or reading books or skydiving, whatever it is in your go phase, I so encourage you to do that. Achieve some of your goals. Do some of the things that you wanted to do. Check some of the things off on your bucket list because time flies and it flies quickly. Number 2. Now, my channel's all about financial, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about one of the 5 things that I wish I knew first was about money. I've talked about this many, many times. I was the saver in our marriage. I was the worrier in our marriage. I would literally we have this little website where it shows our investments, and I'd sign on every single day for a while there, just freaking out over how much money I needed to save, how much I needed to have, how much would it be if we retired today, how much would it be if we retired in a year. I would lose sleep over saving, honestly. And I didn't realize too how it would affect me mentally or emotionally the very first time we took money out of our retirement savings account. Because I had saved and worked so hard to put it in, and now all of a sudden I was taking out. Oh my gosh. Like I honestly almost threw up. It was traumatic for me to do that. And I know that sounds crazy. Logically, I know we put the money in there so that someday we could take the money out of there. I know that, but it was really difficult to be able to take money out of there. And what I finally had to do is I had to sit down and go, okay, more. Why did you put money in there? You put money in there so you could travel, so you could do things with your grandkids, so you could play golf, so you could have this life that you've always dreamed of. And now the time is here. You need to look at the big picture and not the little picture of money leaving the account. And so now, although I still worry about our money, I don't worry like I used to. And I think that's another thing that I didn't expect was because I worried so much beforehand that when we finally did retire, I thought I'd continue to worry. But now we know how much money we have. We know how much we can have and spend every single month, and we live within our means. And so I don't worry as much as I used to. No, I still have a worry in the back of my mind, but I used to be insane about worry. So those are the money things I kind of wish I knew. Number 3, friends and social life. And, I never really thought about making new friends in retirement. Somehow I just assumed I'd have millions of them, all the friends that I wanted. But in reality, we spend a lot of time traveling so I can meet a friend. And then by the time we're back to either Arizona, our trailer in the summer, or Calgary, then those people have gone on with their lives, and I can, text them or call them up, and yeah, maybe they make time for me, but they've had a life. And so for me, I find it a little bit challenging to keep close friendships. And also then the people that I was friends with when I worked, they're, again, same thing. They're still working and they have their own life. And sure, we'll, have lunch every once in a while or catch up on Facebook, but it's not the same as having those friends on a day-to-day basis. And I wish I had realized this before I retired. I remember my mom talking about this because they traveled a lot too in their retirement. And she said it's really hard. She couldn't join a club or an organization or a class because they traveled so much. So for her, she struggled probably a little bit more because she's not an outgoing, crazy person like me. She's a little bit more introverted. I just wish I had kind of maybe realized this. But I am thankful that I am outgoing, and I have joined several groups, meetups, classes, lessons, and I'm really not afraid to put myself out there. But it's definitely something to be aware of, that when you retire, typically your friend group changes. And so I just recently made a video on how to get more friends and some of the things you can do to get more friends in retirement, and I'll link that in the comments as well. And not only does it have tips for people like me that are outgoing, it has a lot of tips for those that aren't outgoing, and a lot of tips for those that are a little bit introverted and how they too can meet friends. So it's a great video. Please check it out. Number 4. For years, I thought retirement would be just freedom to do what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted. And it is that way. It is. But what shocked me was to realize that after a while, I missed not having, I don't know, maybe not having a routine, maybe not having a schedule. And yet, having said that, I don't want to tie myself down to a job. Maybe I just missed having a purpose, a reason to get up in the morning. So although I still golf a lot, we travel a lot, I spend a lot of time with my grandkids, and I do work. What I guess surprised me was that I missed having something to challenge myself with other than another game or something like that. And I really did not see this one coming. So I've tried hard to stay busy in retirement, but even busy for the sake of being busy is sometimes hard. So I wish I could remember where I heard this saying, and it says that we all need something to retire to, something that excites us, something that gets our blood flowing, something that is really more fun. And so I do also have a video about the 4 stages of retirement, and this sentiment clearly falls into phase 2. Is this it? And so I'll leave that in the link below as well. And if you're struggling in that, check it out because there's some great ideas in that. And then last of the 5 things I wish I knew in retirement, how important it is to be aligned with your partner and to keep those lines of communication open. So if you're fortunate enough like me to still have your partner with you, it is so important that we talk to each other. You see, most of us, we're excited about retirement, but we often assume that the excitement or the same things we're excited about are the same things that your partner is excited about. And quite often, that's not the way things are. For example, maybe one of you guys likes to golf a lot or hike, and you're very excited. So when you picture your retirement, you're going, yes, I'm going to golf, I'm going to hike, I'm going to be busy, I'm going to go exercise. And then that's the picture you have in your mind. And then maybe your other spouse is equally excited about retirement, but maybe the picture they have in their mind is, oh, I can't wait until I can retire. I'm going to sip my morning coffee every day until 11, and then I'm just going to read a little bit of news. Then I'm going to go out and garden, and I don't have to see another person in my retirement. And they're equally excited, but two very, very, very different pictures. And so just have that conversation. Go, this is what excites me about my retirement, and ask them, what excites you? You don't have to agree on every single solitary thing, but at least if you have that conversation, you're not assuming that they're going to be excited about the same things that you're going to be excited about. And then listen to them, really, really listen to them, and give them that same understanding that you would like. If they want a lot more quiet than you do, give them that quiet, and come together to, at the end of the day and have the conversation. I just highly recommend, though, that you have separate interests and friends and activities to do in retirement, as well as joint interests and activities and friends, so that you can do things together, come together. But the more you talk about this without judgment, without expectations, the easier the transition will be. So those are the 5 things that I wish I had really known before retirement. I'd love to hear what you wish you had known before retirement. So please feel free to comment on this video, and please consider sharing and subscribing. And we have an amazing Facebook group. It has grown like crazy. We're getting close to, I think, 35 or 40,000 members. And you can ask questions, you can talk, you can get to know people there. So please consider joining that as well. It's at facebook.com/group/lifestartsatretirement.